Today I'm going to be telling you guys a little story about the first time I ever bought a fake cart. This was also the first time I ever bought a cart, but that's besides the point. This is the first time I ever bought a cart, and it was a fake cart. And so this story has a little bit of background, and it's not the first time I ever got high, mind you. This is the first time I ever bought a fake cart. So I've been high before, smoked my friends' carts, but this is the first time I bought a cart. So this story starts me and my homie Tim. It has a little bit of backstory. We've been friends for a really long time, about 6 years now. So he has a cousin that took him out just driving. She had her license already. She took him out driving, and they see a tweaker walking in the desert. Just a stranded tweaker just doing random stuff. And he decides, for whatever reason, he's going to get out of the car and try to rob this man for whatever money or drugs he had on him. At the time, Tim was kind of a wild case. He wasn't really a stable person. He did whatever he did whatever he wanted, basically. I wasn't like this. I was more of a stable kind of rock foundation for our friendship. If every friendship has a rock foundation, and if it doesn't, then it's either gonna fall apart quick or make the world fall apart around it. And if you know what I'm talking about, there's always either that group of girls or that group of dudes that just will do whatever the fuck anybody tells them to do. So this wasn't that situation, but Tim was one of those people. So anyway, he robs this guy. He gets out of the car and he has his knife and he's threatening this man. I don't know too much of the details of what he says, but I know that this bum gave him his money as quick as he could. He pulled out $500 and gave it to my friend immediately as soon as he pulled out the knife. So I don't know if he was in fear for his life. I don't know if he just was scared or tweaking, but he gave him the money really quick. And the thing about it was $500. We have never had that much money to ourselves as 15-year-olds in high school, as sophomores in forever. We've never had that before. It's just never happened. Situation has never come up. So first thing he does when he gets back in the car is he tells her, and he gives her $100, and he's like, just be quiet about it, don't tell anyone. And because a lot of his cousins have the tendency to snitch on us, but that's a story for another time. So his cousins have snitched on us plenty times. But anyway, right now, he a couple days later ends up telling me I have, because he usually have his phone taken all the time. So he gets his phone back, tells me, dude, I robbed this hobo, $400. What are we spending it on? So long story short, we end up deciding we're not going to spend all the money in one go. We're going to save it and maybe try to flip some weed and get the money back somehow. We didn't end up doing that, but that's what we thought at the time. So we were like, let's spend a little on ourselves. Let's go to the mall. Let's buy a few things. So we go to the mall. We get a few anime things. We get this, we get that. We get some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff. Geez, we're just having a blast. We're getting whatever we want. And mind you, we only spent like $80 the whole day, including the carts that we ended up buying. So, it was just an all around fun time. So we ended up buying 2 smart carts. We just decided, let's get 2 carts, one for me, one for you. So we have the plug pull up to the mall. I don't really remember too many details. I wasn't too aware of this part. I'm more aware of the part where we actually smoked the carts and had a good time. But I'll get into that. So basically, we have this guy pull up to the thing. We exchange. We go back to my house. We're like, okay, let's chill. Let's do this. And we smoke some of the cart, dude. And we're geeking out, dude. We're like, oh my god, we're faded off of 2 hits of this cart each. And mind you, he smoked plenty more times than me, so I'm expecting his tolerance to be way higher than mine, but it's not. He's really high too. His eyes are red as fuck, and mine are low and red as fuck. His eyes didn't really get low, they just got red. So we're faded, man, and we decide, let's go outside. Let's go. There was this, where I lived at the time, there was this little drainage area for the rain whenever it got really like a lot of rain, because there was a lot of rain where I live. It's in Hesperia, the high desert. There was a lot of rain, man, and this rain would fill up the streets and the sidewalks, then the gutters, and all of this rain would go into the drainage system, the sewage, and it would go into this big area with like it had like a big tube. It's hobos usually sleep in there. They call it like I don't know, it's like people use them as full pipes, but this one was very small and it was very tiny. and you couldn't even, like, if you went in there, you'd probably get claustrophobic, to be honest. I would. So yeah, we decided to walk over there and just like chill, so we're not in the house laughing it up, because at the time we had hella giggles. I'm telling you, we were laughing at everything, my guy. Everything on the TV was funny, everything. So we're like, let's go outside. We're being too loud, even though nobody was on to us. So we go outside, and I dropped the cart, man. I dropped the cart on the floor. Now, I don't know if it's a same thing as the blunt, where you drop the blunt and somebody's fucking your bitch. I don't know if you drop the cart and it's the electronic blunt and somebody's fucking your... I don't know. I have no idea if somebody's was fucking my bitch at the time. I don't even remember if I had a girlfriend. But I probably didn't. It was sophomore year, but I was pretty ugly. But anyway, I ended up dropping the cart on the floor with the battery, and I am geeking. I pick up the cart and I'm like, fuck, dude, I just dropped the cart. I just bought this. Like, what am I gonna do? Excuse me. What am I gonna do? And I'm like, oh, I hope to God it's not broken. I call over Tim. I'm like, Tim, I dropped the fucking cart, dude. What are we gonna do? And I pick it up, and it is shattered, dude. Like, half it. It's not shattered, but it's cracked all around, and the cart is like sliding off, and the wax is like, it's a full gram cart, so the wax is like kind of oozing out. And I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I go back inside, and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? We can't smoke this cart, and we're not gonna smoke Tim's cart, because we're not gonna open that yet. It's his cart. I told him we'd smoke mine. So we're like, bet, we'll figure something out. So the rest of the day goes on. We just chill, faded, it wears off, and then we go to sleep. And the next day, my brother's friend has a little cartridge that's empty, because his friend fucking smokes all the time, has an empty cartridge that we can use to fill up with our smart cart. So we fill up that cart, and it had a little bit of wax left over from when he did have the cart and he was smoking it. So we low-key mixed the smart cart wax with whatever wax was in there for however long it was in his closet. So, and I didn't even mention, we used tape to tape back together the smart cart so it wouldn't fall apart. And I just used like a little rag that was near, and I put it in a drawer because I thought my mom could smell it. I swear to God, I thought she could. I could swear I could smell it while I was sleeping, dude. I was having dreams about it. But regardless, we taped it back up, and the next day we filled it up. And at that night, we decided that we were gonna go over to Tim's house. I say we because my brother asked me if he can go and spend the night with me, and I was like, cool. Yeah, you can come over. You got nothing to do. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. I have this cart. He has a cart. Let's do this. So we go over, and I'm like, at this point, I haven't smoked with my brother too often. I know he smoked before. I haven't smoked with him that much, and this is gonna be like one of like the few times he smoked with me in the beginning of both of our smoking like journeys, like our pot journeys. So he comes over with me to Tim's house, and we're both ecstatic, and we meet his little brother, which is the same age as my little brother. And later to come, we find out that they both go to the same school. They're the same age, and they went to the same middle school, both coming freshmen to our school. We're all four at this house, and we're planning the most epic smoke sesh of the century. So we're thinking we're gonna go on Tim's roof, and we're gonna get blasted, and we're gonna have the time of our lives, man. So we get on top of this guy's roof, and it's around, I'd say 7 p.m. now. It's like getting dark. His mom is like, okay, everybody's settled in. I'm going to start getting ready for bed. And we're like, cool. So we get on this roof, man. We start smoking up this cart, and I'm geeking. I'm higher than I was the first time I smoked this cart, dude. I swear I'm having visuals of the tree. It's just turning into smoke. All types of shit is happening. And his house is a one-story house, so it's not too big. So it was like you can easily access the roof from like a ladder or a fence. But yeah, his house was right next to a tree, and that tree, I swear to God, it was smoking, dude. I thought I was faded too, but to my left, little did I know, my brother's geeking out, dude. This man is like, has his hoodie on all the way tied tight. If you know what I'm talking about, put a picture on the screen. Tied all the way tight, and he has his hands on his head, and he's laughing up a storm to himself. And I'm like, who is this guy talking to? He's talking to some guy named Daniel. I'm like, who's Daniel, my guy? And he's like, oh yeah, Daniel's the homie. Daniel, come here, Daniel, let's dap me up, Daniel. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, man? And me and Tim we're just laughing up a storm because we're like, oh my god, these two idiots are faded as fuck, dude. Look at these idiots. Look at these youngins, faded as hell. Look at these jits. They don't even know what they're doing. So yeah, me and Tim are just having a blast. So it gets into the part where it starts getting a little weird, and his brother, we're not sure how many times he smoked, but he said he smoked before. So we know he's been high before, so maybe he can handle it. So he starts saying couple weird things. He doesn't look high at all, but he's saying the weirdest shit I've ever heard anybody say while high. He's talking about this, that, Uzi's face. Like, he's saying, oh yeah, I can see Uzi's face in the stars, and we're laughing up a storm. We're like, bro, what? And he's like, yeah, I can see Uzi's face in the stars. Like, his face is outlined in the stars. And then he's talking about Playboy Cardi, how he's the best person ever. So we're all like in agreement that this guy is just spouting bull. Like, he is just faded as a motherfucker. So we're just not listening to him. He's just on his own, chilling on the roof and not paying attention to us. So we're all passing the pen around, and it gets to my brother, and he hits it, and I'm expecting he's gonna be chilling, but he starts coughing like a motherfucker. Like, this guy is like you could hear him from a mile away. Most definitely his mom heard him, and sure enough, she comes outside and she's like, is he okay? And we're like, yeah, he's fine. He's just like, I don't know why he's coughing. He has asthma. He has asthma. His mom is not having it. She's not believing none of anything we're saying. Like, she does not believe a word. So we're like, okay, it's time for us to go back inside. We can't be up here anymore. It's getting late. So it's around 9 p.m. We start heading back inside, and his mom is already like in bed, like not worried about us. So we're like chilling. We're not worried about her at all. Our first thing on our mind is snacks. We dart to the kitchen. We get every snack you can imagine. Now, one specific thing I can remember about this man's house is it was just like, it had the most random snacks ever. Like, these snacks were like, they weren't off brand. They were just like snacks you wouldn't have. Like I would eat it if it was there, but just like, why the fuck do you have this? Like, a perfect example is just this fucking nasty ass granola crunch bar that's just like extra crunchy. Like, I'll put this shit on the screen now. Like, why the fuck would you buy this? Please let me know right now, why would you buy this? Why? Like, only reason I would have to see you buying this was if you needed it maybe for a survival situation, or if you were going camping or hunting or something, and you need a light snack that doesn't take up much space, and if it gets crumbled you can still eat it. Like, that's the only reason I can see. Not just for your fucking kids. Are you torturing them? Do you hate them? Do you hate your children? Why are you buying them a crusty? You must hate your own house. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you must hate your own house, because why are you buying the messiest snack in the book, dude? I wouldn't even consider this shit a snack. This is like a fucking I don't know. My throat's getting dry just thinking about it and talking about it, bro. Fuck this granola bars, bro. Fuck those granola bars. Anyway, back to the story. It actually is not much of a story. We just go back in the room. We all chill. We're all munching on our snacks. You know, we're having a blast. We're just chilling. And then we end up all falling asleep to some show. I don't know what we were watching, but yeah. That pretty much sums up the video. And if you liked it, let me know. Leave a comment if I should do more videos like this. I got the inspiration from Goblin. I'll leave his link in the description. Goblin and who else? Who else do I watch? Oh yeah, Xcode A. I watch him too. They're both inspiration. Hella. I'm gonna leave their link in the description for every video I make. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that little 14-minute video of me talking, just let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. Any one of those ways lets me know that you enjoyed. But with that, all I gotta say is stay sturdy, my friends.